What's up, everybody? My name is Aaron, and welcome to the Mad Maker Studio, and welcome back to the Slay the Princess demo.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
And inside the princess is unspeakable eldritch horror.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
So you say. Okay, Let's fully trust the narrator. Let's have that gusto. Immediately slay her. And then we'll stay in the cabin for all eternity.
That's the spirit. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
She's just like Scarlett O'Hara.
We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about. The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade.
Also, narrator, do you have any audiobooks? I feel like I could listen to your voice to the end of time. So relaxing and descriptive.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
Enter the basement.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
And yet, I can't decide if this staircase into the basement is more or less unsettling than the staircase into the basement in Cooking Companions. They're both very equally uncomfortable.
Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
It's commanding. Almost as though she's the one in charge down here. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
I'm gonna be very blunt and brazen. Hey, I think I'm here to kill you.
You must have the wrong address.
Great job. You gave away the element of surprise. Good luck, hero.
I feel like she already knew what was gonna happen.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world? Focus on the task at hand.
Keep it in your pants, hero. We're here to do a job.
You weren't kidding when you said you were here to kill me.
I don't like that she's glitching in and out of existence. That makes me upset. Like, I don't know if that's intentional or not. Like, what monster is she turning into now? I don't know. Well, no way. Why would you even think that? Yeah, it wasn't a joke. I haven't decided yet. Still your nerves and step forward.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
Oh? No talking then? Fine. What even makes you think you can kill me? I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it.
Yep. Didn't like that. She's so self-aware.
So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
Do you hear the conviction in her voice? Do you see the razor sharpness in her gaze? I don't think she's bluffing. She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this. You lunge forward without a moment's hesitation. You feel flesh easily give way and look down to see your blade already sinking deep into her heart.
Oh. This is it, isn't it?
You tell me.
I'm almost embarrassed. I should have seen that coming, but I have to wonder. Do you actually believe this was enough to kill me?
Not at all.
There it is again. That razor-sharp look in her eyes and the terrifying conviction in her words. Yes, even as she lays there dying, she entirely believes herself to be alive and well. But it's over, isn't it? She stopped breathing moments ago, that arrogant look still plastered on her face. But is it over? Really over?
Of course it is. She's dead.
Yes, exactly. It's over.
Said I was going to be on the narrator side this time.
With your work done, you make your way back up the stairs, closing the door to the basement behind you. Why do I feel like we've done something terrible? You did kill someone. Greater good or not, something would be very wrong with you if you didn't feel at least a little bad. But it was for the greater good. One of these days that will sink in and help ease your guilty conscience. But that day isn't today. Let's just get out of here. You open the cabin door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom. Only, a world saved from certain doom isn't what you find. Instead, what you find is nothing at all. Where a lush forest stood mere minutes ago, the only thing in front of you now is the vast emptiness of space. What happened? Everyone is fine. It's just that you and the cabin are now far away from them. Don't worry. You'll be safe here. This is good. Everyone is happy. You'll be happy.
Okay.
I'm so glad you're keeping an open mind. This is what's best for everyone. Trust me.
Sounds like we could have just gotten rid of the cabin. Why did I have to be in here too?
Time passes. You can't be sure if it's days or months or years or even decades. It's all a wonderful, boring blur. You've never been happier. Psst. Hey. We're not just going to stay here forever, right?
Didn't you hear the narrator? I'm happy. We're happy.
Are we really happy? Or is he just telling us that we are?
Okay, maybe I'm not happy, and I'm not just saying that because you're the last person I talked to. No, we're happy. I'm sure of it.
Really? Well, if you ever change your mind, just let me know, I guess. More happy time passes, though the word begins to lose its meaning. Time, that is, not happy. Happy still has plenty of meaning. Please, shake yourself out of it. We have to get out of here. The little voices' pleas fall on deaf ears. Eventually you pass into a blissful state of pure existence. Though words like eventually and pass ceased to have any meaning to you long before that shift, you simply exist. Happy. Forever.
We got the good ending. You did it. You saved everyone. Oh, fantastic. That was delightful. I'm feeling like jumping in one more time. rather than ending the video here. All right, let's start again.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Walk towards the cabin.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
All right, let's see what we can achieve here.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
All right. Here we go, besties.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
It's commanding, almost as though she's the one in charge down here. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Oh? It's been so long since anyone's come down here. I was starting to think they'd forgotten about me.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world? Focus on the task at hand.
Are you here to kill me or something?
I haven't decided yet. Real talk, I haven't decided yet. Should I say nuh-uh?
Then drop the knife.
We should.
Oh.
It'll go a long way to building trust with her. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster. Killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
Tighten your grip.
You ignore the trembling in your hands and tighten your grip on the blade.
Poor thing. Your hands are shaking. Are you scared of me? Because you should be.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
Do you hear the conviction in her voice? Do you see the razor sharpness in her gaze? I don't think she's bluffing. She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
Are you sure she's not armed? She's got two of them.
I'm positive. I'm not. But we'll keep our eyes peeled. If she has a weapon, she'll have to draw it before she can use it.
Hesitating. Why don't you drop the knife and the two of us can be civilized with each other?
I'm not dropping the blade.
Then I'm not talking to you.
Good. Fine then, I guess we're at an impasse. Squint at the princess while holding onto the blade. I'm gonna give her side eye.
You stare at the princess, squinting. She squints back. The two of you are going to do this forever, aren't you?
We're building rapport. Squint at the princess even harder.
You squint even harder. So does she. At least nobody's dying right now. You're going to have to make a choice. You can't keep squinting forever. Eventually, someone is going to have to blink.
I don't want to immediately slay the princess. I think that's going to take me back to the space outdoor room ending. All right, we'll drop the blade for now.
The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious clang.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just talk.
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face, unarmed. We'll be fine.
Everything feels such a conundrum.
I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor. You're going to need it.
So, this is a pretty awkward start to a relationship.
How would I get you out of here?
You can't. Don't bother.
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. I'm sure there's a key somewhere around here. And if there isn't, well, we can always put that knife to good use.
Her sharp eyes settle on the edge of the blade. She isn't suggesting what I think she's suggesting, right? She is. I'm sure of it.
Yeah, it's pretty awkward.
Not to make things even more awkward, but do you know why you're here to kill me?
Are you asking me because you don't know or because you do know? No, I can't say I do. I've been told things, but I'm not sure what to believe. Of course I do. Do you think I'd come here to kill someone without even knowing why? That'd be ridiculous, right? Right?
And yet you hesitated the moment you saw me. And you dropped your knife. If killing me was really that important, you would have had a little more gumption.
I need you to take your sass and tone it down a notch.
So, someone put you up to this, right? And whoever it is, it's probably the same someone who shoved me into this dark pit and chained me to a wall.
That's a fair question. Who chained her in this basement, and if she's so dangerous, how did they manage to trap her? And why have we been left to do their dirty work? Don't give away the game, and don't let her distract you. That's exactly what she wants.
I'm right, aren't I? So who put you up to this?
There's people out there who think you're a threat to the world. What do you have to say about this? Yeah, do you know why I'm here to kill you?
Do you?
I know what I've been told. Whether or not I believe it is an entirely different matter.
So, you're not going to share? How pointless. If you want to talk, I'll talk, but this isn't talking.
I'm trying to pick different dialogue trees, thank you.
She hesitates before answering.
You can address me as your Royal Highness, or Her Majesty. Any honorific should do, really.
Oh no, we're back here.
Note the lack of detail. You can't trust her.
Too long.
Again, she offers no specifics. No matter how hard you try, you'll never get a straight answer out of her.
Is that because I didn't give her a straight answer?
Oh, have you decided what to do with me?
You know why you're here.
What will happen if I try to slay her now?
You charge the princess, blade in hand, but unfortunately your earlier suspicions proved correct.
Oh, snap!
A blade of her own slips down her sleeve and catches you in the neck. Blood sprays from the cut, your severed carotid artery painting the princess with strokes of red. You'd better finish your task quickly before you run out of time.
Finish the job.
With the last bit of your will, you press forward, sinking the blade deep into the princess's heart.
Oh.
The two of you collapse on the floor together, rapidly bleeding out.
Somehow, I thought this would turn out a little differently. But I wonder... Do you really think this is the end?
Not at all. It never
There it
is.
again. That razor-sharp look in her eyes and the terrifying conviction in her words. But you don't have the time to worry over such things. Everything goes black, and you die.
The fury.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Yeah, I get it.
I have one last warning for you. She will lie, she will cheat.
Sure.
It's not her
All right.
lies that'll stop us.
Voice of the broken. I was wondering when we were gonna get a new voice in.
I must admit, I'm a little worried about going back in there. I don't want to be as much of a downer as my new roommate, but we were definitely outclassed last time. She seems more demon than princess. Ignore them, they don't know what they're talking about. She's just a princess. Don't get all in your head about it.
All right, proceed to the cabin.
The interior of the cabin is larger than it should be. The only item of furniture is a plain wooden table with a pristine blade perched on its edge.
Okay, so the house got bigger, the cabin got bigger, we got smaller, everything's... Could still be wood, but maybe more concrete, marble, more of a hard surface.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Take the blade.
You take the blade from the table. It'd be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an old wooden staircase.
What horrible
The steps are
creature
wide and deep.
is
The
waiting
air
for
seeping up
us
from
now
below
in the
is
form
heavy
of
and
a
oppressive,
princess?
with an odd, eggy stink to it. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. Her fierce voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
Oh, the red text.
It's somehow even fiercer than it was before. Of course it is. Don't let it intimidate you. You carefully make your way down the stairs. As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view, a large shackle leading from her wrist to the basement wall.
Look at her, she's so strong and big.
Is it just me, or is she bigger than last time? It looks like she could rip those chains out of the wall without a second thought.
Hell yeah.
I told you. It's pointless.
I was wondering when I might have company. Free me from my bindings, and maybe I'll let you live for a while.
Ugh. Let's free the princess first, see what happens.
Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the princess's arm, just above the massive, unyielding chain. You cut into her flesh.
That dagger can cut through bone? That's a solid dagger.
The blade is sharp, and you make quick work of it. Before long, you're able to crack through bone, and she pulls the bleeding stub of her arm through the iron gauntlet. She didn't so much as utter a sound. The princess clutches the wound, her fierce gaze meeting your eye. How is she so composed after losing an arm? It's like she isn't even bothered by it.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
Approach the locked door.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I just can't let her escape into the world. As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade. Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me. bring the blade down and plunge it into the princess's back. Finally. Okay. There's no going back now. Though the blade left a deep gash in her shoulder, she barely so much as flinches, turning around to stare at you incredulously.
Yep, she's upset.
Are you serious? I don't know what came over you, but if we're doing this, I guess I'll have to kill you. Do you think I need both of my arms to do that? I can beat you to death with one.
I believe it.
But I don't have to tell you that. I'll go ahead and show you.
Do you hear the conviction in her voice? Do you see that razor sharpness in her gaze? I don't think she's bluffing. Before you have the opportunity to make another move, she rears back and hits you with a bone-shattering haymaker. You fall to your knees. You're barely able to bring your trembling arm up to defend yourself before she hits you again.
Is this an incorrect asset?
Every blow is as
there we go.
powerful as the first.
Dang!
You feel bones shatter with every impact, unknown ruptures blossoming with blood somewhere inside of you.
I love this 3-panel comic.
If we're lucky, the wound you manage to inflict will be enough to at least delay her escape from this place. If we're very lucky, we'll kill her before she gets out.
Too weak to even try fighting back. How disappointing.
She places a confident heel on your chest and pushes you down to the ground. Her knee falls to your throat, your windpipe crushed beneath a weight you didn't think her slight form could possibly possess. It can't just end like this, right? I'm sorry, but it's over. Everything goes dark, and you die.
So we freed her, let's just immediately slay her.
Without hesitation, you bring the blade down. The princess flinches as you strike, and your weapon sinks into her shoulder.
You bastard. If I have to kill you to leave this place, I'll do it.
Do you hear the conviction in her voice? Do you see that razor sharpness in her gaze? I thought we had the upper hand, but it's as if she's barely even threatened by us. It's an act. She's unarmed and there's nothing she can do to hurt you. I'm not so sure. Don't waver now. As you raise your blade to strike again, she kicks out, knocking your legs out from under you. The two of you struggle on the ground.
Oh, okay.
You lash out with the blade, slicing wherever you can. Her fists connect with your body again and again, each blow stronger than the last, shattering bone and rupturing tissue with reckless abandon. Forget trying to rescue her. This is about survival now. Give her everything you've got. You roll out of her grasp and shakily push yourself back to your feet. Though every inch of you is in pain, the princess probably has it worse. Blood pours out from countless gashes, staining her once pristine dress. She pauses for a moment, catching her breath, staring at you with wild eyes. We can still turn this around.
Give up, finish the job, run for the stairs, and lock her in the basement. Ah! We're already in it for the let's finish the job.
You steel your resolve and take another step towards the princess. You probably won't make it out of here alive, but you can at least make sure she won't make it out of here either. Excuse me? What was that about not making it out of here alive? Do you think this is what I wanted to happen? I have a duty to state the facts of the situation, and honestly, it's a miracle anyone is still standing right now. Can you not feel all those ruptured organs bouncing around in there? If the princess doesn't do our friend in herself, internal bleeding is certain to finish the job. The two of you clash for the final time. You feel your ribs break as she delivers a heavy blow, but you push through the pain, falling forward and sinking your blade deep into the princess's heart.
Oh.
The two of you fall to the floor.
This was fun. You put up more of a fight than I thought you would. But I have to wonder, do you really think this is the end?
There it is again. That razor-sharp look in her eyes and the terrifying conviction in her words. But you don't have the time to worry over her words. Everything goes black, and you die.
Because of course we do.
Plump.
Okay, I'm just gonna enter the basement.
The door to the basement creaks, her fierce voice.
Who's there?
It's somehow even fiercer than... Don't let it intimidate your plan.
Okay, we're gonna speed through a little
make
bit.
your way down the stairs. As you descend
Okay,
the
so we're
final
back here.
step, the fall... Is it just... I told you.
I was wondering when I might have
So
come.
chapter 2, The Fury. This was
Free me
the
from
ending
my
for that.
bind.
Okay.
Hmm.
I sated my curiosity. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and end this episode here. I'm going to check on my achievement progress and think about what I can do differently to finish getting all the endings in the demo. But thank you so much for joining me. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And as always, I hope to see you next time. Bye!